Welcome everyone to the HVAC Insider Series brought to you by Breezy. I am your host, as always, CJ Todd, and it is a pleasure to be with you all today. If you haven't done so already, please hop over to the chat and tell us where you're tuning in from today. I love to see everybody. Marisol from Chico, California, Ernest from Georgia, Tracy, South Carolina, Lonnie, thanks, Phillips, Richmond, Virginia. It's great to see everybody here today. Here at Breezy, we are dedicated to helping HVAC business owners thrive in today's competitive marketplace. And that's why we invite HVAC experts of all shapes and sizes to come on, share their proven strategies and insights, all designed to help you get the edge that you need in today's business. Whether you're looking to boost sales, improve your operations, or eliminate that dreaded off-season like we're about to do today, the HVAC Insider Series has you covered. I'd like to take a quick minute to share that Breezy is hard at work creating a Service Titan alternative built solely for the HVAC, plumbing, and electrical industry. And our mission is very simple, my friends. We want to help you eliminate the off-season by building your service agreement club. And we do that by working alongside some of the industry's most accomplished owners and operators to build CRM features that actually help you, that actually help business owners thrive. Things like membership tracking, job flow management, and real-time insights. But I'd like to introduce today's guest, Erica Leonore. She's someone whose energy, heart, and real-world experience has helped so many HVAC companies around the country unlock real results. She's a national speaker, trainer, and success coach for the home services industry. She is currently the director of business development at Goodleap, and she's also the co-owner of the Amzi Group, a next-level CSR mentorship program that she runs with her husband, Giovanni. She's a regular instructor for the CSR Academy and serves on multiple industry boards, and she still somehow finds time to crush Lord of the Rings trivia. You're going to see some pretty badass swords behind her in her home office, so look forward to that. She's incredible. She is a cancer survivor. She is a woman of deep faith, and she's someone who's truly passionate about helping contractors succeed in business and in life. Her clients love her because she brings the mindset along with the strategy, and she helps make those big changes feel doable. And that's what she's going to help you do today. She's going to show you exactly how to turn your membership program into a dependable revenue stream that thrives even in the slow season. And if you scan this QR code that's on the screen now, I'll also drop the link in the chat. She's going to offer you a free customer service DNA review. So please make sure to take the opportunity to do that with her. I will be recording today's session and emailing that out to you later this afternoon. And there's going to be an amazing Q&A session at the end of today's show. So please make sure you hang on for that. Without further ado, here is the woman of the hour, Erica Leonore. Erica, take it away.
Oh my goodness, CJ, I feel like you're going to be my hype man forever. Thank you. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
And you guys, if there's any way we could do tons of like emojis, applauses, hearts for CJ, he is putting on this entire production with polls and music and all of the things by himself today and is absolutely phenomenal. So great job to CJ and all of the Breezy team for having us. Very grateful to be here. And I just want to say something. You are taking an hour out of your day to spend with us. Like that really does mean a lot. And I know some of you might be multitasking and joining from the road or wherever you might be. Just thank you for jumping on. And we do have some fun things at the very end as well to give away. So stay tuned for that. But aside from giveaways, I want to let everybody know, like, the whole goal of creating this content today was that you had something very actionable that you could take back immediately, that you could brainstorm with your company, that you could work on with your team, that you could implement as a script or with your CSR, or do something with your technicians, whatever it is. The goal was that there was a piece for everybody to start doing right now. And so please let us know any of these golden nuggets that might be new for you, or maybe that they dropped off a little bit and you're like, oh, I got to get back on there. We really want to make sure that you get a lot out of your investment of time of being with us today. So let's talk about becoming a membership sales powerhouse. Here we go. This is a picture of my family. CJ introduced us a little bit, but this was just on Easter Sunday. This is my little girl. She's 3 years old. Her name is Arwen. Now, let me tell you, I am a Lord of the Rings nerd for sure. Like, if you recognize the name Arwen, it is from the Lord of the Rings. Plus the background of swords here. Like, I love this movie and this book and this world so much for many different reasons, but there's so many great lessons that we can learn about character and behavior and good versus evil type of stuff. So anyway, if anyone wants to nerd out with me ever and have a conversation, like, let's just do it. It's so much fun. So we are really big in personal development and growing, which if you're here today, you probably are too. You want to learn and to grow. And I love talking mindset and habits, and I love communication. I love to figure out ways of how to be an effective communicator, not with just the words we say, but our tone, the body language if we're in person. But what's very interesting is when you're thinking about customer service, a lot of times you think about call center and CSRs. And if anyone has ever heard the quote from Maya Angelou, she said that people don't remember what you say, but they remember the way you made them feel. Now, put it in the chat here. Do you agree with that quote? Have you ever heard that before? People don't remember what you say, but they remember the way you made them feel. Do you believe it? I'm very curious. Let's see. Okay, so you're all believing it here. Nice. I believe it too, but I do think that she has a part missed out on this quote. Like, I think there's another layer to it. Because guess what? The way that you make people feel a certain way is typically by the things you say. So even though they might not remember word for word what you said, they remember the feeling that you created with, you can create feelings with actions. Sure, you do acts of service, but things that you say, and specifically with customer service, you are creating a feeling with people based off of only the words and the tone of voice that you have. So for example, I could tell somebody, hey, you're stupid, and they might not think, or they might not remember that I said you're stupid. They might think I said you are an idiot. Regardless, I made them feel bad, right? I've still created a negative feeling for them, and they might not remember exactly what I said. So paying attention to the words we say, how we say things, can be really powerful in creating a certain feeling. And here's what we want to remember. The feeling we want people to have after they talk to us on the phone or they meet with us in the home, the feeling we want them to have is that was freaking awesome. That was way better than I expected. Or, hey, you know what? I don't have buyer's remorse. Imagine people having that feeling, that you don't have buyer's remorse. Like, that's a great feeling. So we want to be very particular about the words that we say, the way we say it, and I'm going to give you some strategy on that today. So here's the next thing. We have a couple of polls, and I know you love the polls, but I have another one for you because I'm very curious for those of you that are here. You're all different shapes and sizes of companies. You have different processes and strategies. What does your current service agreement membership plan look like? Throw your answers in here. Is it structured? Do you know where it's going? Do you know how many people you have? Do you not believe it anymore? Do you feel like service agreement plans have gone the way of all the earth? Tell me, what do you feel about service agreements? What does your structure look like? So let's see what's coming in here.
I'm just going to say I'm very proud of myself for having launched that the first try. So
that was amazing, CJ. That just went boom. As soon as I brought this up, you're like, here we go. On it. Okay, so we have, oh, interesting. Okay, so most people here are saying that you have a formal membership plan, or you have a plan, but you don't have a formal process for selling them. Okay, you're gonna love this today then. That's great. Awesome. What else do we have in here? You offer them on every call. Very good. That was the next one. Okay, nobody said that you think they're going the way of all the earth. So that's awesome. We don't need to have any convincing of why you should have a membership plan in case you don't. So that's awesome. But yes, let's talk about throughout today of how to sell them, how to get everybody on board of offering these membership plans. All right, here's our question number 2. What do y'all think is the answer to this one? How many memberships do you need for every 1 million in revenue? What is your answer to this one? Ooh, it's like going back and forth here, CJ. We can see this coming in of like, well, maybe 1,000. It's between 1,000 and 500. Some of you are saying 1,500 at this time. Nice. Okay. Very cool. Kind of a rule of thumb that we have seen is that about 1,000 memberships for every 1 million in revenue. But of course, some of you might be in certain geographic areas where you need a little bit more. That could be the case. But maybe some of you are seeing 500 for a million. But if you're at 500 memberships, let's see if even getting you 500 more really does make a difference in an extra million of revenue. That would be cool. All right. Last one. This is going to pick your knowledge about your personal membership program at your company. How many do you have? Does anybody know the exact number? And I know it's kind of in a bracket here, but okay, what do we have coming in this way? Okay, so the majority of us are around 1 to 500, and then 500 to 1,000. Okay, so now you're going to have to put this one in the chat here. How much do you want to grow your membership? Like if you're between the 1 and 500, are you wanting to get to the next 1,000? Do you have capacity to get to the next level of that there? What do you guys think? Are you ready for the next step? Or are you like, I just need to manage the ones that I have? Where do you feel?
Right. So
Yes, we're
shout
talking
out
about
to Slade for
membership.
10,000. That's
Sorry,
a
what
great.
was that, CJ?
Oh, I said shout out to Slade for 10,000 service agreements. That's incredible.
That's a lot. And that's a lot of management. You probably have multiple people.
Oh, he wants they want 10,000.
Oh, they want 10,000. Okay, so some of you, okay, you're wanting to get to next level of 1,000, 7,500, want to hit 1,000 consistently. Okay. Now, if you're wanting to double or if you're wanting to add membership programs, you're going to want to have the foundation. You're going to make sure you have a structure in place to be able to manage that. And then, of course, kind of what everyone said at the beginning, how do we sell them? Like maybe we have the structure, but we can't get anyone to offer them. How do we pitch them? So this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk about why they matter. Number one, this is the only predictable way you can make money. We've been talking about the off season, okay? I don't know. I live in Utah, and a lot of the companies I've been talking to here in Utah, they're just like, it has been so slow. And the weather is being all crazy on us. We have like 1 week of 90 degrees, and last week it was 50 degrees, and like no calls were coming in. I know Utah's not the only one in this boat, but having memberships is the only predictable way that you can make money. Because we can't control the weather. We can't predict that. We can't necessarily predict tariffs and price increases and all the other conversations going on right now, but we can predict revenue based off of memberships. Memberships are also very powerful because it will increase your customer retention. People that are on them usually just stay on them, especially if they continue to see the value. And if they like you guys, we got to make people love us. Have any of you ever watched the TV show? I really want to know this in the chat. How many of you watched the TV show Love is Blind? Now, I have like never seen this before. My husband went crazy on it though. He like watched 2 seasons in a weekend. He was fascinated by this Love is Blind. Okay, we've got some fans here. Now, if you don't know what Love is Blind is, what they do is they put a bunch of strangers, like let's say it's 10 women and 10 men, in a room that has a wall down the middle, and they have to talk to each other through a wall, and they fall in love with each other without ever seeing the other person's face. They never get a visual on the other person. They only fall in love with them based off of the conversations that they're having through a wall. The first time you ever see the person is when they propose to you. If you're like, hey, this is the one for me, then you get the opportunity to meet in person and the man is supposed to propose. Like kind of a crazy reality show. But what's so interesting about it is that they fall in love based off of conversation, based off of what they say, the tone, the words, and how they make each other feel. So in a sense, we're all in a love is blind when we're in customer service. Like if we're CSR, we've got to make people, quote unquote, fall in love with us without ever seeing us. And we can do that with memberships by how robust we make this program and how exciting and, passionate we are about it. we could get people to fall in love with it if we also have that love for these programs. Now, of course, you don't want to do like Love is Blind in person as much, right? You are face to face. But I think you know where I'm going with this. We've got to bring in that power of conversation, and you will have increased customer retention and stronger brand loyalty. We know that when we're on memberships, as long as we're not having a horrible experience with it, we typically stay with those memberships. Tell me all the memberships you have. Costco, Netflix, HBO, like name all the streaming services for one. You're members, right? You've got these programs and subscriptions, but you've got gym memberships. You've got memberships for schools and clubs and sports and all different kinds of things. Your pickleball court. We've got memberships. And as long as it's not a horrible experience, we kind of stick with them. And so you have this strong brand loyalty to a membership, especially if you love it. And a lot of times, you know, especially with HVAC, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. But the second it becomes an inconvenience and it breaks down, wow, we want to make sure we have something ready to go. We want to know we have a company that we can count on. Create that brand loyalty. The last thing I want to talk about here is how so many people think, and people, when I say this, then like a lot of times technicians will think that memberships or maintenance or going out and doing a tune-up is strictly keeping them busy. It's just busy work. Now think about it. Yes, in a sense, we don't want to have to fire people in the off season. No way. Like that's not our goal. We do want to keep people busy, but we don't want them to feel like it's just busy work. Oh, let's go out there, do a tune-up. And people walk in, you're like, I'm not going to make any commissions out of this. And it's just a boring old tune-up. We've got to get out of this mindset of memberships and tune-ups, maintenance agreements, whatever you're calling them. It is not just busy work. It is a way to do all these other things. Predictable revenue, customer loyalty and retention, brand loyalty. We need to stop saying, oh, we're doing this to keep you busy. We want you to have a job in the off season. If that is the language we are saying, then they're just thinking it's busy work, and they're not going to go in thinking of all the opportunities that they're going to have working with that homeowner. And I'll tell you this because I am a homeowner, and when I've had multiple different technicians in my home for multiple different reasons, electricians, plumbers, HVAC, whatever it is, I can't tell you, nobody has once talked to me about water filtration. Nobody once has talked to me about indoor air quality. Nobody once has talked to me about efficiency, anything. Like nobody's taking advantage of an opportunity I'm giving them to educate me. And this is me we're talking about. Like I know this industry and I expect it, but I'm not even getting that experience for myself. So there are so many opportunities to talk and to educate and to influence your homeowners on making good decisions for their home and their comfort. And, you know, we talked a little bit about the cancer stuff. Like, I wonder if I would have got some radon testing done, and if I would have had cleaner air, and if I might have had cleaner water, would I have gotten cancer? I don't know. But I'm sure it would have helped my health 100% because I believe in that. So you can really change people's lives, the health and comfort, the safety. We know these things, but we got to stop saying it's just to keep you busy. So everyone, let's cut that word out. Let's put it in the trash. It's not just busy work. We good with that? Okay, no more. Let's talk about some do's and don'ts. And if you have some of these on your list and you don't agree with me, that's totally fine. You could argue with me all day long if you want, but here's some of the things that we have seen that can really help make an effective and productive membership program. First, keep it simple. Do not have so many layers and tiers and different levels of a membership. A confused customer will say no. And a confused CSR and a confused technician will also not sell it. If you have too many layers, it's difficult because you can't remember all the benefits and it's hard to facilitate the benefits. So maybe simplify a little bit. And I'm going to give you a Lord of the Rings quote, okay? J.R.L. Tolkien said, it is no small thing to enjoy a simple life. Like, there's power in simplicity. You can sell simplicity. So if you have too many things in there and it's too jumbled and different price points for all types of things, I would encourage you to adjust a little bit. Make it easy for your internal team to understand and sell so that your external customers can buy it easily as well.
Erica, do you have any recommendations on how many tiers should be in kind of the menu-based service agreement?
Yes. So I'm curious, for the people here, how many of you here actually just have one tier? I think one tier is the easiest, best thing, personally. Some of you might disagree with me, but one tier can be sold and it can be facilitated very easily. That would be my recommendation.
Look at all those one tiers.
Okay. So most people do have one and it's easiest. So just do the one. Now remember, even on one tier, you might have people that have multiple systems, right? You might offer a different trade. You might do HVAC, plumbing, or electric as well. So your one tier, especially if you do multiple systems and multiple trades, if you have more than one layer, it is way too much. It's too crazy. So keep it simple. All right. Next thing, do create a cool name for it. Let's not call it a service agreement. Internally in our company, sure, call it a service agreement. We all know what it means. But a service agreement, it sounds kind of like a contract. That's another word I want everyone to stay away from. Stay away from contracts and agreements. It's like your customer has to agree to pay you this money. Call it a cool name. Like you already have a membership. So, I don't know, call it your VIP, your exclusive club, your gold membership, your whatever like brand that you have, brand it to something cool that matches your company. And CJ will probably have some really cool ideas of things that he's seen as well of people that have branded it really cool. But you know, there's a company that like they got sold now, but it was a company called Buddy the Plumber, and they use that in their brand all the time of buddy. Like, hey, here's your buddy pass, and let's be your buddy. And you know, they totally use the branding of that. And so you could just think of a cool name based off your brand. Make it exciting. It's got to be like this shiny object syndrome, right? The next thing is, here's more of the words you can say. When you are pitching your membership, you always want to use the word enroll. Can we enroll you in this membership? We don't necessarily want to sign up for something because signing up for something is like getting on an email list we don't want to be on. So using these words like enroll in this membership program, once again, you're enhancing your communication. You are creating a different feeling than your average people who just say, you want to sign up for a membership? No, if you enroll with a membership with us, it's like Costco. Man, we love it. Now, if you could tell, like if I ever need a job, I'm going to Costco because I love them so much, okay? We want to enroll. Here's a few other do's and don'ts. Let's have a membership coordinator. Somebody who is designated to facilitate benefits. Now, you might have multiple people on your team, you know, called to do scheduling and things like that, and that's okay. But having somebody that's designated, that's a specialist to manage memberships is so efficient and effective. If you don't have somebody that's in charge of memberships, you are leaving the execution to all of these people and all the benefits just to chance, hoping that they'll call in, hoping they'll remember they have a membership with you. Hope is not a strategy. Designate someone to be in charge of it and to facilitate it. Now, many of you have 500 to 1,000 memberships. If you don't have a coordinator or a specialist, let's get one. Somebody who is passionate about this and who can actively create this like great experience with people every single time. You're not responsible for booking new customers. You're responsible for keeping the ones that you have. It's so powerful. Here's another do and don't. let's auto renew as much as possible. Now, we should have put this one in as a poll, CJ, but I'm curious, how many people here have a monthly membership or a yearly membership?
That's going off in the chat right now quite a bit. Yeah, people are talking about what's better, monthly or annual.
Okay. Ooh, some of you have monthly, some of you have both. Okay, so you have options there, some of you. Okay.
I'm interested for Lainey or Lonnie Phillips. You have a monthly and an annual. Do you give a discount if they pay all at once for an annual
Oh, great
as
question.
opposed to monthly?
Great question. Regardless if it's monthly or annual, auto renew it. Now, here's a couple of things to keep in mind. With monthly, I do hear people say, well, if I use a service agreement to help overcome a pricing objection, they'll sign up for $15 a month and just cancel it later. I have heard that before. But if you're also using a service agreement to overcome a pricing objection and you say you'll get 10% off, but you have to pay us $200 first, then it can also be hard to sign people up. So I don't ever want us to have those mindsets of, oh, they're just going to cancel. If we have the mindset that people are just going to cancel on us in a month anyway, or they're never going to sign up for a yearly, well, we kind of already are giving them permission to do it. Let's keep that out of our mindset, whether it's monthly or yearly. We're going to pitch it. We're going to sell it. It's going to be the best thing since sliced bread. But if we can have it on auto renew, monthly usually is auto renew, but your yearly, if you can put that on auto renew, it is very efficient. Okay. It's just going to happen. And your membership coordinator can facilitate the benefits.
And Erica, do you recommend having that conversation with the homeowner up front, or having that language built into the literature? Or how do you do you check in with them every year and say, hey, this is on auto renew, you still want it? What's kind of your recommendation there?
So maybe you can, depending on what system you have, I know Breezy's got some cool automation features and stuff like that. But if you are able to, when you're selling the service agreement, you could always have the option of, hey, do you want this to go ahead and just auto renew? And you click auto renew. Sometimes it just can do that and you get the permission right up front and it'll auto renew every year. A monthly will auto renew. The other thing though, is if it's not auto renewing, you do have to call them, right? And typically, and I'll talk more about this towards the end too, but typically what will happen is if you're going to pull a list of everybody that's expiring, their membership's expiring in June or whatever, you could always call them and say, hey, you're due for your tune-up, get them scheduled for tune-up. And by the way, this is about to expire. Can we go ahead and renew it and get you on the schedule for fall already? So you could kind of use that as a way to gauge or get somebody scheduled already and then renew them. Because sometimes just calling people out of the blue to get a credit card and renew it, it can be hard. So you want to have some strategy behind it for sure. Great questions. Okay, here's the other thing. Does everybody in your company have the opportunity to offer it? Some people say just the technicians because they're going to get spiffed. Well, guess what? Your technicians get spiffed on everything. If they upsell something or if they do a special add-on or IAQ and then a membership, they get so many bonuses. They have the opportunity to make a lot of money. Do your CSRs get the leftovers? That's not fun. You want to talk about CSR retention? You want to talk about the high turnover in customer service? Well, if you're not incentivizing them to also do that and have the same bonus plan as your technicians, that's a lot of missing out. We want everybody in our company to feel valued and important, and that you're not just getting the leftover banana cream filled donuts after a technician meeting. You can actually make more money.
We want the fresh banana cream filled donuts though.
What was that?
I said we want the fresh banana cream filled donuts still though.
Oh, if they're fresh, right? They got to be fresh. But I know some of you on this call that I've seen in the chat have created some really cool programs where if you sell X amount, then you get this bonus. And if you go to this next layer, you can get this bonus. And there's always opportunity to make more money. And you've got it designed in Excel spreadsheets and some really cool things. You know, what's very interesting is a lot of times in HVAC business, there's not always a path to growth. You get hired as a CSR, and the most you're ever going to get promoted is to maybe a team leader or manager. A technician maybe to become a salesperson, right? When they get too old and their knees are bad and they can't go into crawl space anymore. But bonuses is a great way to help people grow too, financially. Growth doesn't always have to come in titles, but if you can continually offer people a way to make more money, that is as much as possible as what you can work out in your company. I would just say make that growth and that opportunity available to everybody, not just the people in the field. And I would even recommend your installers too. Sometimes, I mean, I've heard this a lot is, you know, we place so much emphasis on service technicians and selling and repairs, and your install team is actually the ones that are in the home the longest. They're the ones that are in a home for 1 to 2 days sometimes. They can also receive that type of training and those opportunities to get bonus. Like everybody, I feel, should have that opportunity. And your install team is producing higher revenue because it's an install, right? So just think about it, like how can you get all of your team on board and how can you incentivize all of your team to offer these in an equal way? That's my only sense about that. 2 cents. All right. Oh yeah, and I was too fast. Everybody should have the opportunity. That's what that slide is there. I got ahead of myself. So I'm going to do a little chat activity here. I want you to think about something that you purchased recently or over and over again that you absolutely love. I want you to sell it to me. So put it in the chat. I'm going to sell you something right now. Man, if you do not have a pair of Lululemon leggings, either for yourself or for your significant other, you need a pair of Lululemons. They are not cheap, but I've had some of those Lulus for 9 years and they are still going strong. Okay. They are awesome. They are comfortable. They're like slick and clean and they look good. They're fancy. They're like fancy loungewear. You can wear them like everywhere. I love Lululemons and I will pay $120 for a pair of leggings, you guys. It's nuts, but I'll do it. Sell me something.
I have a 2004 Hemi Dodge Ram that's sitting in my driveway that I could sell you, Erica.
Really?
It's only got 114,000 miles on it. It's 20 years old, still
Ooh,
running like a champ.
there you go. Some of these things are just durable. They last a
CD
long time.
player. I got a whole collection of CDs in there.
Ooh, CDs. What's that? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. What is something that you guys have purchased that you love? What's a product or a brand? And why do you love it? And why do you keep buying it over and over? You've got people who are obsessed with Hydro Jugs and Stanleys. You've got people who buy those little cool wallets off of TikTok these days. Or, you know, okay, let's see what we've got. Chico's Clothing, best quality fabric. Skincare, yeah, that's another good one. Man, once you have a skincare line, like you are stuck. I'm a big Tatcha fan, by the way, for anybody that likes skincare. Okay, your Honda Accord. Gas is great. I love it. CrossFit. Ooh, I need to be sold on CrossFit. I've been wanting to do it, but I'm scared. I'm gonna break my back. Okay. These are things that you all love, and you are throwing in, ooh, air fryers. That's a good one. These are things that you love and are passionate about. And if you were going to talk to one of your friends and say, oh my gosh, you got to get this car if you're shopping for a new one, or hey, have you tried this new skincare? Or you got to come over for some air fryer food. Like if you're going to invite your friends or tell people about something that you love, that company's not paying you a commission. That company is not like giving you an affiliate code or anything. You sell it because you love it. And if you think about it, when you have a passion for these things that you love that you buy over and over again, that's the same kind of passion you want to have with memberships. And you're probably like, oh my gosh, how do we get passionate about, you know, heating and air conditioning or plumbing or whatever? How's that passionate talking about toilets? But here's the thing, we've got to bring it in the passion. You can sell if you love something. You all just told me things that you love. You could sell me that. Tell me why I need it. So if you could sell that, you could sell this, I promise. So an activity you could do is Like going back to your company, having your team meeting and have everyone like get a product and sell it. Do like a mini Shark Tank and get people like pitching you stuff. Like they've got to practice selling something. Why do they love it? Then they can sell a membership, but you got to believe in it. And here's something though. When you're selling these, we know homeowners, nobody wants to be sold to. Like we don't want to be the creepy car salesperson, but everybody likes to buy the best, especially if they can afford it. So if you've got a crazy expensive service agreement, it better have a lot of value in it because people will buy the best for what they can afford. So if it's affordable, but also if it is affordable in the value, once again, everything that you guys put on here, not usually cheap, okay? DSW shoes, not cheap. Legos, Oscar, you put Legos, okay. Legos are not cheap. I freaking love Legos, but they're not cheap. But there's so much value in Legos, okay? There's the time commitment to build them and then you see them and then play with them. Like, there's so much value in Legos. If you have something that is really expensive or not, whatever your price is, it's got to be affordable for whatever the value is in there. And you've got to be passionate about selling that value. And you got to make that value robust. You got to make it over the top. It's got to be good. And then you got to practice like, yeah, this is the best thing since sliced bread. So I'm going to give you a couple little pieces of what we look for in customer experience DNA. And I'm going to tell you why we did the DNA is because when I got cancer, I had to do a lot of genetic testing and to figure out like if I had cancer genes or if there were any triggers, you know, genetically in there. Luckily, nothing in my DNA showed that that was why I got cancer. It was just happened. But it got me thinking, in our DNA, like our physical DNA, we can't really control that all the time, like it's genetic. But the DNA, what makes up our customer experience is completely under our control. And you get to design that DNA. You get to design what that looks like. You get to decide what goes into the experience and is it healthy? Or is there a part of the experience that's a little bit broken? Maybe it's a genetic code that's a little bit off. Is there something in there that needs to be a little bit fixed so that you can have this healthy experience, this healthy strand of DNA? So here's the first thing. You've got to bring the enthusiasm, you guys. You got to bring the excitement. Now, having a 3-year-old eat something healthy is very hard. And I have to bring out the enthusiasm. So we're working on meditation. And this is her. She's like, Mom, watch. And she'll do her little Kung Fu Panda meditation before she'll eat something healthy. Like, it's the funniest thing. But I am working with her on DNA about getting excited for healthy food. And physical DNA, like, she's got that. She's a beautiful girl. But her mental DNA is what we're working on. This is healthy for me. This is going to make me strong. And I have to get excited about something. Otherwise, she's going to not be excited about it. I've got to bring the enthusiasm. And guess what? Some of y'all here are like, I just am not that bubbly. Erica, you're a little too much cheese ball. Like, I'm not a cheese ball. Even though I'm from Wisconsin, like, I'm not a cheese ball. Just kidding, you guys. But if you think about it, you get to control this part of your DNA. You get to control your personality in a sense when you show up and answer the phone or you're in the home. You get to decide how much energy and enthusiasm you bring into something. And if you're like, well, that's just not who I am, well, then you're just leaving the door shut for any room to change. Now, if you're having a really hard time, like bringing out some energy, you got to come up with like an alias, like an alter ego. If I'm having a really crappy day as Erica, but I got to turn it on, I bring out Roxanne. And man, Roxanne, she's good all the time. Like she has got enthusiasm every second of the day. Erica, not so much sometimes, but Roxanne does. So what is your alter ego? I'd be like, okay, I'm showing up at this house and it's a lady that has 50 cats and oh my goodness, I can't handle this today. Bring out your Roxanne, okay? Bring out the enthusiasm and just go into that like, hey, I'm going to offer, educate, sell the heck out of this thing And this customer's going to love it because I'm so passionate about it and I'm enthusiastic. So I need everyone in here to pick, what is your alter ego name? Choose it right now, and you're going to bring it out. If you could think of one, what is your name? Throw it in there. I had somebody that she chose her name last week. Her name is Priscilla. So when we need to, we're going to bring out Priscilla. I have another person that she's named her alter ego Amber. You can name them whatever you want. Thor, CJ, that is awesome. Bring out the Thor. So good. Lacey, you got Xena. Oh my gosh, I love Xena. Olga, Steve, I love that. Bring out your Olga. These are so good, you guys. Okay, it's super fun. Bring out your alter ego and practice it. If you don't know what enthusiasm sounds like, practice it. Practice doing different accents, different tones, different energies. Stand up, move around, get some crazy music on in the background. Like, you all can get excited about something. So bring out the enthusiasm. What else do we have coming in here? Sunshine, Linda, Tom.
I like Oscar's Tom. That's great.
Gotta bring out
Simple.
Tom, Oscar. Yeah, Tom's coming out today. That is so funny. Okay. Right next to enthusiasm is you gotta be engaging. We have all probably talked to people who are absolutely boring and you zone out. Hopefully not on this webinar today, but you've all sat on webinars where you're like, I don't know if I can go through this. And you are like completely zoned out. Been there, done that. Okay. You gotta be engaging. You gotta like just bring that. You got to ask good questions, bring in the conversation. Energy, enthusiasm, and being engaging, like you want to help people. Tell me, in customer service, when does anybody ever say, Erica, I want to help you or I want to work with you? If I was going to cancel my phone, like if I want to switch from T-Mobile to Verizon, they'd be like, okay, great, thanks. Thanks for using us for 10 years. They would never say like, we want to keep you here. What do we need? They're just going to like give a bonus to somebody who's not with T-Mobile and give them a free phone, but people that have been there for 10 years don't get anything. They don't want me for long term. If you want people long term, you got to tell them, we want to work with you. We want to partner with you in taking care of your home. We want to make sure you're comfortable and safe and happy and that you don't have to think about this. You let us think about this. That's the kind of engagement we want to have in our memberships. So there are many ways to pitch a membership. Here is one. If people are struggling with what to say, like, I don't know how to pitch this, use the 5 Ps. This is a great way. Number one, memberships pay for themselves. Now, I would recommend going with your team down and doing the math, okay? How much does a one-time tune-up cost versus a membership tune-up? How much is a diagnostic versus maybe a wave diagnostic in a membership? How much is the free plumbing inspection you're going to offer as part of your membership? How much is all of that worth? Do the numbers. I just did this with somebody yesterday. Their membership literally, after all the benefits, saved somebody just up front $500. Just up front. Not even to mention the 10% off they would get on any calls or, you know, the overall cost of the job, nothing like that. But with the benefits they offered, it was $500. So absolutely, if I could save $500 and then pay $120 a year, like that's going to pay for itself, 100%. It's also going to help pay for itself because it will prevent major breakdowns from happening unexpectedly. If you are out to a home twice a year and you have a good technician, you'll be able to catch things and at least warn me. Hey, this is getting a little faulty. I'm noticing this here. These connections are off here. I can fix it now, or just so you know, this might become an issue pretty soon. Like you're going to see some of that stuff with an experienced tech. Protecting your investment. This is the most expensive appliance in your home. It is not cheap. If you can keep it maintained and your filters and cleaned and tuned up and all of the 19-point inspection things that everybody does on these, it will also help keep the manufacturer warranty valid, protect your investment. Can prolong the life. We all know this, right? Once again, keeping things clean and maintained can prolong the life. And once again, it can give me as a homeowner a peace of mind. Knowing somebody was at my home, they did whatever they did, everything's running good, I still have cold air for the summer, I don't want to worry about it. For me, being inconvenienced is really an inconvenience. If something happens, like my garage door broke a couple weeks ago, that was a big inconvenience. Couldn't get out of the garage, couldn't get back in. It was trash day, couldn't get the trashes out. There's only permitted parking on our street. So like we didn't have anywhere to park. Like it was annoying. So when things break down, like I just want to be able to have a peace of mind knowing somebody will get there to fix it. So that's one way to talk about your memberships. Think of the 5 Ps. Give you an easy way to remember. Another really cool way to pitch memberships is to think about features and benefits. I know people have probably done features and benefits a lot through different trainings they've done with different organizations and, tech trainings, all of that stuff. But you don't want to just be a bullet point, because I can give you a flyer with the bullet points. If I am just pitching a flyer with bullet points, my homeowner's probably thinking, great, well, what's really in it for me? Like, this is just a list of things. Think of the benefit to each one of those bullet points, and that's what you want to pitch and focus on. So for example, if one of my bullet points was, hey, you're going to get priority scheduling, priority dispatching, that's a great feature, but what does it really mean for me as a customer? I'm going to say, hey, CJ, part of being a member is that you're going to get priority dispatching. This is so that if anything ever happens and it's emergency, we bump you to the front of the line and you get taken care of sooner.
Wow, that's incredible. Where do I sign?
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that would be one way. You use those little trigger words of so that. Or if you had another one like, hey, you're going to get 10% off the overall cost of the job. Great. Well, what's the so that benefit? All right, if I get 10% off the overall cost of the job, that is so that I have money right back in my pocket. I have extra savings for me. I'm not going to be hit with as high of a sticker shock. This is another great activity. Do this with your companies. And okay, let's lay out all of the features. Let's get the flyer and the bullet points. Then let's talk about the benefit. And then when you're pitching this on the phone or over the home, man, you make sure to follow up every feature with one of those benefits. And now it's like, wow, that is worth $500. You just made $500 seem a lot more affordable to me. Or $100 or $15 a month or whatever it is that you charge. If you make it robust and just nice and meaty with all of these benefits, whatever you charge, it's going to seem like a lot of benefits for whatever you're charging. It's awesome. Okay, is anyone going to do the features and benefits plan? I sure hope it's an activity you do because it's really fun. And what's amazing is you'll see how creative your team is. Because whether they're CSRs or technicians, they're going to have different ideas of why things are benefiting homeowners in a different way. It's really fun. Here's another couple of things about memberships. Make sure you're efficient with them. Send out texting reminders. A lot of you guys know a company called Chirp. I really like them. They gave me some data that when they send out recurring service reminders, they have over a 50% response rate to those texts of people responding and saying, yes, let's get me on the schedule. Or they're able to self-schedule. So imagine if you have 1,000 memberships and your CSRs have to call 1,000 people, imagine texting them and you have 500 of them self-schedule from a text message. It's efficient. So nice. And now your CSR is only left with 500, which is still a lot. So think about efficiency with texting and self-scheduling. Another way, like send out the postcards. A lot of people still do postcards. We talked about this one a little bit earlier. If you're not on auto renew, go ahead and make sure that when you call a customer to renew, get them on the schedule first. Hey, CJ, I just want to let you know, we're going to get you scheduled for your ongoing maintenance, your tune-up for the summer. It looks like last year we did it around the end of June. Would that work for you again this year? Great, awesome. We'd also like to renew this. Can we go ahead and get a new credit card on file? Yours expired or whatever. but schedule first before you ask for money. They're more likely to buy and renew again. All right, last one here I'm going to give you is some tips for outbound calling. CJ, I'm running out of time. Oh my goodness, I get so excited.
It's okay. You're doing great.
Okay, here's some tips for outbounding. Number one, I can't tell you how many phone calls I get a day where I don't recognize the phone number. I answer and they're like, is this Erica? And I'm like, maybe. Who is this? Like, who's calling me out of the blue? I don't know you. I don't know this number. You're going to sound like a spammer. Always introduce yourself and your company first. So if CJ answers the phone, he says, hello. I'm going to say, hey, CJ, this is hey, my name is Erica calling from XYZ company. Am I speaking with CJ? Yeah, this is CJ. Hey, CJ, once again, this is Erica from XYZ company. How are you doing today? Right? Like, I'm going to introduce myself first. So he's at least aware I'm not crazy. And he doesn't think I'm just spamming and trying to sell something. Always introduce yourself first. People forget this all the time, but remember that one. When you go into that conversation, after you do that introduction, remind customers of the previous visit. Sometimes you have to remind people of the pain. Hey, you know what? Looks like there was this breakdown on the 4th of July last year. You know, I'm glad we got you up and running. How's everything been since then? Oh yeah, I did have that breakdown on the 4th of July. You guys got right out there and fixed it, right? Remind them a little bit of the pain. Or, hey, looks like we were last out there in September. How's everything been since we saw you? It makes it a little bit more personal. So remind them of when you had the last visit. Always ask, make sure everything's working okay, schedule the visit, and then even though you might be scheduling that tune-up, remind them of the other membership benefits. If it is out of sight, it is out of mind, people forget. So if you just say, hey, really quickly, I know we're getting you scheduled for this tune-up, and you've got everything settled there, right? I just want to let you know what you also get as being a VIP member or being a part of the club or whatever it is 10% off or no overtime or after hour fees or waive diagnostic or whatever it is. Remind them of some of those benefits because they'll forget. Remember, we want to make them stick with us over and over and over again. So remind them why you're awesome and why you're important, how you're going to save the day. Okay. If you guys haven't scheduled or signed up for a free DNA review from the QR code at the beginning, here it is again. If you'd like to go over some of the other DNA topics that we have in your call flow or customer experience, we'd love to do that. It's so fun. So I think CJ put the link in there again. Oh, you're amazing. Look at you.
Sure did.
On top of it. Okay, we'd love to chat with you more about that. But wait, there's more. I want to pick a winner. So for everybody still here today, I need you to get on the chat and everyone get out your fastest typing fingers, okay? Everyone get ready. Get on your keyboard. I'm going to ask a question and whoever types in the answer the fastest, I'm going to send you a little package in the mail. Okay? So as long as everybody's ready here, we're going to see how well you paid attention today. Any of these little goodies we had. Fastest typing fingers, and it has to be spelled correctly. So first person to type it in, spelled correctly, you're the winner. All right, drum roll. Here we go. When you're saying features and benefits, what are the 2 words that you can use to combine the features and benefits? Well, I think Samantha went fastest on that one. Look at her go. Awesome, Samantha, great job. Okay, so that. Samantha, you're gonna get my email here in a minute. I want you to email me your address and I will ship you a little package in the mail, okay? Great job, so fun. Okay, everybody, let's give some emojis in the chat to Breezy and to CJ for all that they're doing for these masterclasses every month. Isn't it freaking awesome? We get so much value every single month from all the work that they do to provide content. Send them some emojis, you guys. Breezy is awesome. CJ, what do you want to say about Breezy?
Yeah, thanks for all the love, guys. And thank you. Whether you're joining us for the first time or I see some people that have joined since we started about 6 months ago, we just love the opportunity to add value and to educate, whether you're doing business with us or you're doing business with another CRM or maybe you're just trying to, learn some new skill set and tool set, like we love seeing you here. And to, Erica's point, a lot of, if not everything that she brought up today is fully supported through the Breezy platform. We have automated communications for your homeowners to touch all those points to, keep the customer relationship growing. But we also have automated communications for your technicians out in the field. So push notifications that really empower your techs to run your playbook and make sure every single thing that you as an owner or a leader have, put into place, that they're actually making those, out in the field. We have AI powered recommendations to help you generate more revenue opportunities with your existing customers and to add more value to that relationship. Branded and automated invoices and estimates for all of your, installs and your service. And it's really cool that we can, integrate payment and financing all within the platform. So I wanted to, just let you know that we're here for you. And if you would like some more information from the Breezy team on how we can support, some of the stuff that you learned today with Erica, or, maybe we need to come up with a custom plan for you and your team, I would love the opportunity to get to reach out to you and connect. So I just brought up a poll. If you're interested in connecting with me, I'd love to reach out. So, please hit yes, and we can follow up with you after today's call. That would be, very, very exciting for me. Erica, you ready to jump into the Q&A?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. I'm gonna join you actually on screen. My gears were turning as you were talking today. And so, for a company that's just starting out, maybe building their membership program for the first time, or maybe they're, looking to kind of renovate it with everything that you've said today, what's the first kind of mindset shift, or kind of internal cultural change that an owner or a leader needs to focus on to make that a really sticky program?
Yeah. So one of the things I notice is when companies are trying to implement a new process or new strategy, they typically bring it up in a team meeting on a Tuesday morning, say, okay, you guys, you got to do it. And then that's it, right? And then we hound people like, why aren't you selling these? To implement a new process, you have to really talk about it every week for 3 to 4 weeks before you're going to start seeing anything come of it. Like you might have a few of those go-getters for sure, but you have to remember mindset doesn't start with people right away. Like they need time to get used to an idea. They need time to think about, well, how could I implement this? If you pitch something on a Tuesday morning to them and expect them to go do it that day, they're not going to, and they're going to feel really pressured. So break it up gradually. Like, hey, you guys, we have some new strategy of building a robust membership program. Here's actually financially how much money people can save. Here's why we want it as a business. Here's the opportunity for you to make more money. Bring out all that value and are really like, what's in it for me as a technician or a CSR or an installer? It's that WEFUM acronym, right? Yeah. What's in it for me? Bring it up and then, hey, we're going to implement this. Let's talk some ideas. What do you guys think that we could do to strategize on this? Who's been successful with this before? The next week, do it again. Bring it up again. And then the next week, bring it up again and start practicing it and role playing it. But you got to give yourself like at least 3 to 4 weeks to get people used to the idea of a new process. And creating something this big, like if you're trying to go from 500 to 1,000, that's a big shift. That's 500 people this summer that you want to get. So start right now and give people time to get used to that.
Absolutely. One more question for me before I jump into the audience's questions. What are some of the most creative or effective ways that you've seen owners motivate their teams consistently?
Yeah. So people love money, like everyone's
true
motivated by money for sure. But you got to have an incentive. I know you pay people to do a job, and I know you pay people to show up to work, but you've got to have some kind of incentive for something. Now, incentives can look different. I would recommend having the top 2 that people want is money and time off. People want money and time. So give them that opportunity. Hey, you get to leave paid afternoon early, or something like that. That could be a motivator when they hit maybe a higher level after they've sold a certain amount. But time and money they're really big incentives for people. But of course, like, have people share with you their goals. Like, what do they want? Do they want to buy a boat? Do they want a four-wheeler? Do they want to be able to pay for their kids' college? Like, find out some of the big goals that they're working on and then help them. What's going to help you more get this goal? More money or more time? So find out what motivates first out of those two things.
Absolutely. It has to be a custom, relationship built plan. Just like you're building a relationship with your homeowner, you got to build a relationship with your employees too, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. Question from Sheila Beck. Can you go into a little bit more about the so that kind of matrix that you put up there? Is that something that you can like print and maybe send out to people to do that in person kind of exercise?
Sure. Yeah. Sheila, if you're wanting to do like some training specifically for your team and you're wanting to jump on and do some personalized stuff based off of your service agreement, fill out the information on the scorecard QR code or the DNA reviews. This QR code is my LinkedIn if you want to do the LinkedIn. But let me go back to, where's the other one? Or just send me an email. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to help you, because what you're going to do is you're going to take your flyer of bullet points and you're really going to make it like, why would the customer care about 10% off? Why would the customer care about 2 visits a year? Why would the customer care about priority dispatching? And then you would fill it out accordingly. But yeah, I'd be happy to consult with you on some of ideas there.
Well, I put the your what is that? Your LinkedIn QR code back up on the screen so people can connect with you there. And I'll also type in your email address to the chat so people can connect with you that way.
Yeah.
It is Erica at the Amzi Group.com. Cool.
I'm just gonna show like that picture on the screen of the sword. Like, I actually have the sword right here. It's not
What? Awesome. Anonymous attendee asks, how do you treat the customers who are non-responsive to scheduling, i.e. call, text, email, and still gets crickets?
okay.
Would you treat them like a gym membership and dismiss them or at the expiration date?
Yeah, so here's what we need to keep in mind. Are you wanting to break up with them? Like, you don't want them as customers anymore, or do you still want them? They're just being unresponsive. I would look at your follow-up process. How many times have you followed up with them? Typically, like, if you are doing a text and then a phone call and then an email and you're still getting unresponsive, that's only 3 attempts. I say go up to like 5 to 7 attempts with people in the follow-up process. There's something I like to do called video voicemails, which is, I use a program called Vidyard, and CJ, you might know of some other programs that do this, but what it does is it lets you record a little video off of your computer. And so let's say that I just texted a customer and, I haven't heard back from where I called them. I would email them a video voicemail and I'd say, and I would be filming myself doing this, okay? So I'd hit record and be like, hey, CJ, this is Erica, your membership coordinator specialist over here at XYZ Heating and Cooling. We've been trying to get a hold of you, but I just wanted to put a face to the company. Like, we're real people. We want to get you scheduled. You have a membership with us, right? Like, I could leave a video voicemail because sometimes people need a face for some follow-up. So if I can give them a little bit of a face, and if your membership coordinator can do this, make sure like, hey, tomorrow's your video voicemail day. Like, let's do our hair, right? Like, don't just throw video voicemails on people who don't like to be on camera, but they're super powerful. And the program I use actually notifies me when somebody has watched the video. So I like that too. Like, hey, I know they watched it, but they didn't call back still. So it's just one more layer to add to a follow-up process that I like.
Nice. I'm going to grab the link to Vidyard because we have Luis is asking. So just type that into the chat for you, Luis. Hope that works out for you. And obviously, Erica can consult with you on the best practices for how to use that follow-up technique. That's it for all of our questions. Thank you guys so much. There's still quite a few people on the call. Erica, did you want to leave anybody with some final thoughts?
I probably have just talked your ears off completely. So, but this has been so much fun. Thank you for letting me be here to share some of these ideas. And remember, if there was one golden nugget, just one thing, put it in the chat. I want to see it. There was a lot of different strategies, a lot of different things, but if it's like, hey, I need a membership coordinator, or hey, I'm going to do features and benefits, or hey, I'm going to do a video voicemail, or what was your little golden nugget from today? We would love to hear that. And then, of course, CJ, you said that people will be getting the recording soon?
Yes, I will have the recording up on Breezy's YouTube channel in about 2 hours, and I'll send an email out to everyone with that link.
You're amazing. Okay, you guys, stay in touch. You've got the emails, you've got LinkedIn, you've got QR codes, you've got DNA reviews, you've got YouTube, follow-up emails. However you want to find us, we're going to be here to help.
All right, thanks so much, everyone. I'm going to leave you with one more opportunity to sign up for the free customer service DNA review. We'll see you next time.